Welcome to Lambretta-Lutz, and I hope you enjoyed the other parts. The last part was, I would say, semi-successful, as in the end we tried to perform a leak down test with one barrel side only on this twin engine, and it was a completely fail. So we had bubbles coming out from the cylinder studs, we had bubbles coming out from the exhaust stud. The intake was not sealed. So what we did was, at this case, we used mainly all the normal gaskets that come within the Monster kit, and instead of having free bond or silicone or whatever brand you're taking to stop any leakage, we just put it with some layer of grease and then install the gasket. That obviously didn't work out. Also, what didn't work out is that this gasket on the stud that comes from the 2-in-2 exhaust wasn't sealed. We used yesterday not even the spacer, so then we have two gasket surfaces that we have to seal. And when we come to this intake flow that comes with the Monster, I yesterday didn't see that actually there is now a thicker gasket under it. And that probably is because on the 225 with the 7mm bore, you have often the problem that the reed's touching the piston and breaking. So it seems so that that is now an improvement. And we have here now about, let me see, 2mm. Okay, that can be okay. But probably with almost 5mm, you are on the better side. So unfortunately, these aftermarket gaskets are not suitable. They are just suited for normal RD V12s, and this one are a little bit wider, the same like the standard TS1 ones. So we have some work to do. So what I will do in any case is I will modify it on my lathe machine this surface. What I will do is I will try to do very close to this corner, making another line, and making another line, a little groove, so that I will then use silicone, so that I had a kind of O-ring sealing. So the silicone will go into it, and then it will create like a liquid O-ring. So I hope with that we will have one problem solved on that. From here, air goes into the studs and then to the bolts, to the nuts from the cylinder fixing. I also will put the studs in the studs for the barrel with a little bit of silicone or with some thread glue. That is avoiding that some air can go in this direction as well. So I will take care of this, and I will put the gasket with some silicone. And the next thing I will do also is putting this on a lathe machine and make here a groove into it as well, so that this will go directly without this gasket, but with some silicone, onto the surface of the barrel. So some things to do. So I will show you all these points that I will now proceed for this barrel. And well, first deinstalling the barrel and then going in progress. So I put the studs now with silicone into it. That should dry while I proceed with the other work. As I said, you can also use thread glue that will protect them. But as in the progress, maybe later I want to update the transfer ports and I have to get them out again. For now, I will do it with silicone to see if this will help to have a successful leak down test. changing the scene. I put now the one of the exhaust stud to the flange to the Latin machine, and I try to adjust it in a very round way. As you can see, that can be a reason that it is not sealing neither. So there is a variance of 15, so 0.15 millimeters. So I will let it down, will machine down, and then I will make a groove inside. So you can see now the surface is like this, and the next step is I will put a sealing groove into it. I will do all with the same tool. So now checking again the surface. Perfect. So, and that we will repeat with the next one. See the result? So now we have a plain situation, and we have here a groove inside. When the silicone is, it is like a O-ring sealing. So I will not use any longer gasket, sorry. So this one is a little bit better from the starting point, but still 10 hundredths, so 0.1, not flat. So I will correct that in the same way like with the other. So making a checkup. Yes, good to go. Perfect. So now we proceed something similar with the heads. So the same procedure, not as last year, the same procedure we will do with the heads. So what I'm now doing, I put them here on my lathe machine that has especially this design on this spanners to easily span the head. And then, as it already reprofiled, I try to perform a slot close between the holes from the studs and here the chamber. And I also will do a small line here in the height of the holes. Why is it so? If I put now in silicone, it will press from both sides a little bit in this area, so it gives a kind of O-sealing as well. So that is on purpose. So therefore, I will try to perform now two grooves. And first thing is to have it adjusted in a clear and round way. So on the machine heads, we have a tolerance of 400ths of a millimeter. So I will just barely make it equal, and then putting the grooves into it. So checking, we are now approximately at 200ths, and that is okay. And we have these two grooves now inside. One goes over the studs and the other one directly between this. That will be with silicone work like two O-rings. now performing this stuff with the next one. With the second head, there was actually a little bit of headache to adjust it here. So obviously it has been worked in a different machine. And the tolerances have been different. So long story short, we managed to have it on the other head as well. So we could perform now the planning and the grooves for sealing for the exhaust stud, the same for the heads. And now the next thing is to modify the distance plates for the reed wave. So we have here to measure approximately 55 to have some clearance, and I will put it on 0 to make it more visible. And here this one more than 3 millimeters less, so we have to take away on each side 1.5 millimeters for both, and for that I will prepare the machine. For machining now the distance plates and spacers for the intake and revives, I prepared now my machine, and well, each side has 1.5 millimeters. There's nothing to explain, just watching in the time select or step forward. So the reed wipes are now machined, fitting into it on both. Job done. So everything is now prepared for a new leak down test, at least from the machinery. I break a little bit the sharp corners again, and obviously it's fitting. So therefore we're making now the test even with the distance. Look, I have to see if the screws are long enough. Well, okay, I hope I will have some longer ones. And well, I will put everything together without a big comment, because I will use now silicone. I will clean it before, and you can watch it while having a drink. So not wondering again, I will just perform a leak down test for demonstration on one side to see that you can perform in this way as well, and to have clear that the drive side bearing seal is completely sealed, and don't leave any leakage through, because if you perform this leak down test during the full installation, everything, both barrels, ignition system, and so on and so forth, making a leak down test, and then you see the leak down is here, then you have to deassembly everything. So therefore I demonstrate that, and therefore I leave out the piston is not necessary for a leak down set. So here again with 22 to 24 Newton meters of torque over cross, I will fix the screws. Sorry, nuts. Okay. Yeah. And honestly speaking, I forgot something, but we will see. I was about to fix them already with some silicone, because when you look at the last part, here it was bubbling like hell. But as I take now the modification on the head with the sealing and down, I'm wondering, maybe it's a good step in between to see if that is already stopping the nuts in the top of leaking. Let's see, keep it like this. Another point is, even it brings a little bit more distance, and that is good for later exhaust installation. I will leave off this gaskets. From my experiences, this design with small groove silicone directly on it is something of the best to seal an exhaust. Let's see. While this is drying a little bit, I'm not putting it immediately, I will prepare the inlet studs and redraft. So now this can brief. The silicone that I'm using is from my perspective a very good product. I work with other products as well. The advantage of it is you can make a very thin layer on it, but it's still very sticky. And the other thing is, if you remove it, it is very easy to remove. So you can even use surfaces in a very easy way by not getting crazy to get the silicone off. So I will now install the exhaust, the inlet, and then I will keep it a rest for a few moments before I perform the test. Also here with the torque, I will go with 10.8 to 11. I think in the last part I just said make 10. That have been with countersunk. And so here I will now go with 11 on the M6. Okay. And third one. On the Monster kit you only have 3 bolts for the intake. And that normally works. So the modifications are done. We make everything now with silicone compared to the first time. We not put the nuts, on the top with silicone because we make in the top of the head 2 grooves that normally should doing the process so that through the studs should not come anything. We this time even perform the leak down test with the distance spacer of the inside, and on the exhaust stud we plan it with a letter machine, we make a groove inside, and with the out gasket is now directly installed with some silicone. So let's rest it, give it the time to dry a little bit, and then we will see. The silicone had now time to sit down and to process, and now the curious thing is coming. Will this time the leak down test after the modification work? Let's see. Looking better. Yeah. It looks better. It looks better. But not much better, but not okay. So where is the leakage now? Again, start searching. Now we have here, we have still lost. So we didn't put silicone here, but it's working. So as you can see, the solution is working. So and the exhaust stud also perfect. So yeah, it's okay. It's just from spraying. I will try it again. Now it's sealed. So where is it then? Here. Moment. That is strange. That is strange. So I changed the position. So definitely the leakage is coming from the intake area, but have a close look on this. Do you see that? Do you see it? I cannot believe it. This thicker gasket that comes within the kit and should actually avoid that the reed pipes are touching the piston. This is not good and let gas through. So it's not gas sealed. Let me quick change this situation, just getting out the paper seal and put everything just with silicone, and you will see it will be cleared off. That is a so threw away this thicker gasket that is in the kit, I guess. Let's see. So what I will do now with this device, it is with a pulse needle. I will make similar to that what we did with the other things, a groove into it in this area that comes to the surface of the cylinder, to have then a kind of sealing and O-ring as well. So it's quite noisy. I will blend out the music, the noise then. So you can see I make now a groove into it. I will a little bit sandpaper it and hope that there is an extra sealing quality then through. So even of the sandpaper, you can still see it. There's now a groove, and this goes now in the direction of the barrel to have an extra seal possibility there, hopefully, if we catch it in the right way. And here is already a groove into it, so here we'll put just silicone into it, and then we put it together. So I will clean it up with brake disc cleaner as well to have a really clean surface, and then let's see. Sorry, and then we will see if the performance will be better than last time. So time passed by, everything is set, and we give it enough time. So let's see if we can perform the test now with success. Okay, looks already good. And no movement. Excellent. Yeah, perfect. So means in a conclusion we can leave it like this. Maybe now the tube will get loose, but we can see if there is any movement. So we'll do better control. Okay, at 300. Okay, so what we did, we make a groove and blend the exhaust hood, put it with silicone only. We make 2 grooves into the cylinder head, put it with silicone. We put the studs with silicone, and we put the whole inlet on all faces with silicone, and on one face I even make a grid as well, so that a notch as well, so that it is sealing better. And I would say the result is perfect. Was a good idea to put 2 millimeters within the package to avoid that the reeds are touching the reeds are touching while opening the piston. But this material is completely failure for a leak down test. So the only paper with grease that really hold, and that is a little bit surprisingly, is here the the paper that we put on the fusing housing. I believe it's because both of it are very new machined surfaces, so they are really planned and the uni housing is very new. So I believe that is the reason why it even fits without silicone. So you see that I even put out the crankshaft. What I did was from the other side, give me a sec, I will change the position. So I hope you can see it. So what I did is I put an 8mm screw with a washer and silicone on it, so that this screw that is normally connecting the both crankshafts in position is sealed as well, and obviously is working. We still have 300. I would say we did it. I hope you liked it. Please leave a like, comment if you would perform a leak down test like this as well, or on a twin engine. Now we can be 100% sure that on the right side, the barrel and everything what is on it is 100% leak down secured. And so next part, we finally can start to install the complete crankshaft as well as the clamp, and then makes the installation of the second barrel. Took now a little bit longer, but things have to be good, and sometimes they need time. Thank you, please subscribe, and see you the next time.